President Trump is making good on his promise to end diversity, equity, and inclusion programs in the federal government. People working these programs are now finding out that they have been placed on paid leave.
He's also moving forward with a crackdown on immigration, including an attempt at ending birthright citizenship. At least 22 states have now filed legal challenges, including New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut. Christina joins us live here in the studio with more on these executive orders and what they'll mean for people in this area. Christina?
Well, Chris and Mary, among the slew of executive orders President Trump signed, one of the very first to take effect is the dismantling of the federal government's diversity and inclusion program. Meanwhile, his administration is also preparing to defend a different order regarding birthright citizenship that's been taken to court by multiple states and cities. President Trump is moving swiftly to end diversity and inclusion programs, directing that all federal DEI staff be put on paid leave by 5 p.m. this evening and eventually be laid off. In a memo Tuesday, the Office of Personnel Management also ordered the takedown of DEI-focused web pages, canceled DEI-related training, and any related contracts. Trump has called the programs discrimination and insisted on restoring strictly merit-based hiring and made this promise during his inaugural address.
This week, I will also end the government policy of trying to socially engineer race and gender into every aspect of public and private life.
The president directed the attorney general to create a plan to deter the private sector from adopting or continuing DEI programs. Hours after being sworn in, Trump also invoked his presidential powers to begin his long-promised immigration crackdown, including eliminating birthright citizenship.
We have our lives fully established here. I don't know how we would be able to maintain a family.
24-year-old Isela of New Jersey is what is known as a dreamer. Her parents brought her to the U.S. from Mexico when she was 2 years old. Under President Trump's executive order, if Isela were to have a child, that baby would not be considered a U.S. citizen.
It's an assault on the very text of the Constitution, a right that our nation made sure to codify in the 14th Amendment in the aftermath of the Dred Scott decision.
New Jersey Attorney General Matthew Platkin is leading more than 20 states in a federal lawsuit to block Trump's order, arguing it's unconstitutional. The suit is seeking a preliminary injunction to halt enforcement and ultimately invalidate it. And on Tuesday, Trump issued another immigration directive reversing a Biden-era policy that banned deportation agents from making arrests at sensitive locations like schools and churches. His border czar says targeted enforcement is underway. Mary?
Christina, thank you. New backlash for President Trump's sweeping pardons for January 6 defendants coming from law enforcement. Those who attacked police officers are among the 1,500 people who were pardoned or had their sentences commuted. They include rioters who attacked police officers. Among those to get a pardon, Ryan Samsel, the first person to breach the Capitol grounds. Samsel was found guilty of assault and was facing up to 20 years in prison. He spoke yesterday with our Maza Saidi after being set free in Brooklyn.
When you breached the perimeter, what was the plan at that point?
Just stay there and wave my flag. I didn't go in the building, nor would I. If you look at the videos, I was nonviolent.
1,500 people, some of them who engaged in violence, who will never be held accountable for their crimes. It basically just guarantees that that will happen again.
In a joint statement, the International Association of Chiefs of Police and the Fraternal Order of Police said of the pardons, quote, it sent a dangerous message that the consequences for attacking law enforcement are not severe.
President Trump's nominee to lead the Pentagon is facing new allegations of abusive and drunken behavior. In a sworn affidavit now, not anonymous, provided to the Senate Armed Services Committee, Pete Hegseth, former sister-in-law, alleges he was abusive towards his second wife, Samantha. Danielle Hegseth, who was married to Hegseth's brother, claims Samantha feared for her safety. A lawyer for Hegseth denies the allegations. To be confirmed, Hegseth can only afford to lose 3 Republican votes.
6:09 right now. New York Congresswoman Elise Stefanik is on track for confirmation to be the U.S. ambassador to the United Nations. The upstate Republican answered questions from members of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee on Tuesday. Stefanik said challenging China and supporting Israel would be 2 priorities. She had frequent praise for President Trump, who nominated her.
Push back with President Trump's America First, Peace Through Strength as the United States ambassador at the United Nations. I think that the UN has not lived up to its founding mission of international peace and security.
If the Senate confirms Stefanik, Governor Hochul will call a special election in New York's 21st congressional district, which stretches from north of Albany to the Canadian border.
And we know a number of the president's executive orders and their impacts are important to our community. See all of our reporting on the Trump presidency. Head to cbsnewyork.com.